Hello, MouseHunt. Welcome to Feedback Friday. It's no longer May. What is it? What comes after May? June. Is it June 7? I think it's June 7. It's June 7, 2024. Hope everybody in the chat is doing well. Hello, Michelle Wavin. Chris, nice to see you. Welcome on in. Fresso, Jordan, Salim, Lady Nutsy, good morning to you. Happy Friday as well. Hope you're sipping on a coffee as well. I've got my coffee ready to go. Oh, yeah. KDM, good morning. Tarako, Keen, Darko, Scratching Dude. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Scratching Dude. Hope you're scratching that itch. Chris, hello. YX, what did you have for breakfast? I don't think I had anything. Can you believe it? Hopefully we can make it to lunch. We'll see. Sri, hello to you. Neelish Diamond, good morning, good morning. Well, today I thought we would take a quick look at the King's giveaway that is upcoming. We've been kind of talking about it a little bit while we're looking at the School of Sorcery maps on other Feedback Fridays. So we can take a little bit of a closer look of what to expect. It's coming on June 18, which that'll be here before you know it. Runs for 2 weeks, as many giveaways have. Quite a few events go for 2 weeks. It'll run from June 18 to July 2nd. I'm pretty sure that's 2 weeks. Did I do my math right? I hope so. I think that's a 2 week time span, and I'm pretty sure that June 18 may even be a Tuesday. Look at this, if I can be so confident. Yes, indeed, it is a Tuesday. So Tuesday, June 18, you can expect the next King's giveaway to come around. Getting a nice picture of it. Could have been wallpaper instead, eh? Oh, we're trying. Vaughn, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in, Dallas, as well. Well, the King's giveaway will be familiar to previous King's giveaway with the Vault. That seemed to go over very well. Had a lot of fun. Had a lot of positive feedback. That was good. We put a little bit more time into making the Vault look a little bit more cool and fancy as well. Can show you what that looks like in a minute. Adding the Regal Codex, which, where's that? It's on my right. There we go. So you can just grab that Codex right there. You'll be able to assemble the new Regal Codex, and that's going to give you the ability for your Regal charms to upgrade into the next tier, or at least a chance to upgrade into the next tier, should you own that Codex while you're using Regal charms. So very similar to other event charms, the various ways where you can have it upgrade the charms, or what else comes to mind? The Floating Islands, the Empyrean Codex, let your Ancient Charms have a chance to go up a tier. The Regal Codex will add a similar ability to the Regal Charms as well. So you'll be able to pick that up. During the giveaway will be a good time to get it. It's going into the King's Arm, so you'll be able to pick it up technically after the giveaway ends as well. But you have to find some of these pages right there to assemble the Codex and recover that knowledge. There's also 4 new trap skins on the way as well, which you can get a little sneak peek. You can get a glimpse at them there behind the wall of text. But to see the beautiful unobstructed artwork, you'll have to wait for June 18 maybe. But 4 new trap skins coming for the Legendary King Bot, the Dark Magic Mirrors Trap, the Circlet of Pursuing, and the Time Split Dissonance. So those will all arrive with the giveaway on June 18th as well. Is it really the Chrome Celestial Dissonance Trap? My apologies. I am fairly confident it is the Chrome Celestial Dissonance. Now you've got me second guessing myself, but I'm relatively confident it's the Chrome Celestial Dissonance, not the regular Celestial Dissonance. We should check that out, actually. That would be good too. Let's see if I can log in just to triple check. I'm not logged in conveniently to check here, but we will triple check. YX, will there be an ultimate charm as one of the giveaway prizes? Yep, you can expect the Vault prizes to be very similar to last year. Maybe a couple little tweaks and changes here, but no major changes. So yes, an ultimate charm, I think it's a single ultimate charm, right, from last year. That has a chance to appear when you visit the Vault itself. So it's not in the smaller prizes that lead to the Vault, but in the Vault itself. I'm on a reconnaissance mission here. What do we think? Yes, the chrome celestial dissonance. All right. My apologies. That's a very important word to put into the name. Let's add the word chrome there so there's no mistakes. The chrome celestial dissonance, not the regular version. The bottom two, is it just the regular versions and not the chrome? That's a good, the circlet of pursuing as well. I'm going to say that's also the chrome. Look at this. I'm just leaving out the word chrome all over the place. It is indeed the chrome. Let's add that as well, so we have no mistakes. We'll add the word chrome, indeed. Apologies, is for the chrome versions of those two traps. We'll update that now. It's accurate over there. How much power or luck does the codex give? So the codex is only going to give the ability or a chance for when you're using a regal charm that the mouse may drop a regal charm of the higher tier. So if you're hunting with, say, a super regal charm, there's a chance that when you capture a mouse, it'll drop an extreme regal charm. So you get to, in a way, keep your charm. Not only keep your charm, but you get the higher tier version as well. So it's kind of, it's kind of two effects in one, if you will. You get the higher tier charm, but when you think about it, I just kind of got that one hunt for free with that charm as well. Will it have Rift Ultimate Lucky Power Charms? Off the top of my head, I don't think that was one of the vault prizes. I don't think so. I could be mistaken. I'm operating from memory here, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't there last year. Scratchy Dude, you love the King Midas trap skin so much you don't want to change it. That's one of my favorites as well. That's usually one of my go-tos as well. I like the King Midas one. There's just something, the color scheme of it. It's so bright and shiny. I like seeing it on my camp. When is the king gonna chrome the town of Narnia? I think chrome is a little bit expensive in the kingdom of Narnia. In the world of Narnia, chrome is one of the more hard to procure items, I think, because it's awfully pricey. I don't even think even the king could chrome the entire town, let alone even just the castle. Well, we can take a little look as well at the giveaway. Actually, one other good note to take here is that the prize key drops from regular mice. I'll call them regular mice, non-prize mice. So for years and years and years, during the giveaway, any mouse in the game has a small chance to drop a prize key. And when you get a prize mouse, it's guaranteed to drop a prize key. That proved to be a little bit confusing as the years go by. Just inevitably, with every giveaway, every day we'd get a few bug reports saying like, oh, I caught a white mouse and it dropped the prize key. Or look, I just dropped I caught a paragon and it dropped the prize key. I think that's a bug. It's not a prize mouse. When that was the intended functionality, was that all the mice have a small chance to drop a prize key and the prize mice are guaranteed to drop them. So that proved to be maybe a little bit confusing, not very intuitive. So we removed all those drops from the regular mice and instead we increased the drops from the prize mice just to kind of lean into that a little bit, give it that stronger identity. Hopefully that's a little bit more intuitive as well. Kind of breaks down a little or removes just a little bit of confusion that would always surface, especially at the start of a giveaway, and kind of people recalling like, oh yeah, that's how that worked. So overall, it's about the same amount of keys. It's just they all come from prize mice now, and the prize mice can drop more than one. You're right. Yeah, I'm just full of errors. Celestial dissonance. What am I doing here? The celestial dissonance trap. This is what I get for typing without fully finishing a cup of coffee. All right, we start typing up nonsense. The chrome celestial dissonance. We're at 3. That's 3 strikes. I think I'm out. There were 3 errors in that list of trap skins. That'll teach me for not copy pasting and haphazardly typing away from memory. Link, will the bots drop more prize keys? So just prize mice are the only mice now in this giveaway that will drop prize keys, but we've increased the quantity that they drop as well. So it kind of has the same overall equilibrium in terms of getting prize keys. I think it was very small chance for those non-prize mice to drop prize keys to begin with. And it just kind of proved a little bit confusing. Maybe if it was more regular, it wouldn't have been as confusing, but it was just the type of thing when a whole year goes by, you kind of forget that's how it worked. We can take this for a little bit of a spin as well. I give a little sneak peek at what to expect. So I got a stylish setup. You know, it's been a while since I've used the ambush trap. I kind of like the ambush trap, and something about the jade base as well. It seems like it just sits nicely. Let's see if we can catch a prize mouse. We already have 7 prize keys. Patience is a virtue. Now that's a throwback, eh? Yeah, I like the ambush trap. I always thought it was one of the cooler looking traps, especially when it first came out. Hey, Nathan. Hope you're having yourself a fantastic Friday. Ooh, I got a Regal Codex page. I am worried that the prize mice might be turned off in this test environment. I think, because this is a shared test environment, and I think somebody was debugging something this morning. All right, let's do some double checking. And now I'm realizing I don't have the login on this machine to log in. All good meaning things here. We'll see. Can we get logged in? I'm going to have to ask for help. I think. Dustin, you think it's a bit weird to have chrome skins when the chrome traps tend to come from the same place historically? Well, the skin itself isn't chrome, but it is a skin for the chrome trap. So the skin, they all have a more of a regal theme, kind of purple, gold. All right, look at that. They turned prize mice off on me. They should be back on now. Let's see. Let's give it a go. Let's see if we can have better luck now that the prize mice are actually enabled in this demo environment. Samurai mouse got away. Oh, the samurai mouse. Hey, look at that. We got a prize mouse. So I got the treasurer mouse, which is relatively one of the less exciting prize mice. And it only dropped the 1 prize key. Let's see if we can get maybe a little bit more of an exciting prize mouse. I said the treasurer is the most common. Will the high roller or the snooty come out? The snooty's coming out. And drop 2 prize keys. So you can see a little bit of a hierarchy, right? The more common prize mouse, the treasurer, only drops 1. If you get 2 from the snooty, I've got 10 keys. So if you remember how it worked last year, 10 keys is how you open up the vault. And you can find some extra special prizes in the vault. So you can open them up one at a time. And again, very similar things to what you found last year. That really hasn't changed much. Maybe a couple little tweaks here and there. So you can go one at a time. We'll do one at a time for fun here. And you see you're slowly unlocking the vault as you use those keys. And it's going to take 10 keys to get the vault to swing open. And you get a little something every time you unlock one of those. And lo and behold, someone was asking, can we still get an ultimate charm from this giveaway? And first try. All right, we found an ultimate charm. And you get to pick one of your rewards every time you head to the vault, and then the vault closes and you have to visit again here. So I think you got to take the ultimate charm when it shows off. I think you got to take that. That's mandatory. We're out of keys. Let's get back to hunting. Fresso, the Regal Codex page drops. Do we need to collect a number to compile the Regal Codex? Yes, indeed, you do. So that's going to be how you assemble the Regal Codex. Is you have to find all the pages by using some Regal charms. All right, we were hunting away here. What did we get? I wasn't paying attention. We got treasure. We got 5 keys. Let's see if we can get a few more. A mobster got away. Oh no. Maybe I shouldn't be using the ambush trap. What do we think? I should probably upgrade that a little bit. Clivet loves the unlocking animation. It's a whole lot of fun, isn't it? 3 prize keys from the high roller. We need one more. All right, we got a high roller though. We've missed a high roller. Will there be new items added to the King's Cart? I'm trying to recall. We did review the King's Cart, and I think there are 1 or 2 items being added to the King's Cart. We usually use the giveaway as the occasion to review that as well. So I think there are just a few items added in there. I think mostly for the first 3 areas in the Folklore Forest, there might be some relevant items in there. All right, we got 11 keys. We're good. So you can open them up one at a time, or as you keep on going, maybe you're away for a while, you return and you've got a lot of keys. You can hit the open all still, and that was there last year. But you can open them all up at once as well. And we get to go back to the vault. No ultimate charm this time. The Rainbow Scroll case, which is definitely associated with the event. That'll lead to a few rainbow charms, but maybe you just instantly want some rainbow charms right now. The King's credits are a little tempting, but I think I'm going to take rainbow charms. And now we're kind of back to needing some keys. But that's kind of in a nutshell. That should be very familiar if you're hunting during the King's giveaway last year. But with a whole new way to experience it, the unlock animation, I think it just makes it extra fun. What's the catch rate for the prize mice? Anyone knows? Well, generally, in terms of encountering them, the treasure is the most common. Then the snooty is a little less common. The high roller is much less common. Then the mobster is very rare, and the leprechaun doesn't exist. No, the leprechaun is very rare. Extremely very rare. How many extra adjectives can we add to the front of that? But in terms of catch rate, it's your trap against the prize mouse at that point. So you want to be using, powerful trap. You can see I was using the ambush with a jade base, and I missed the mobster, so that was unfortunate. And I missed a high roller even a couple times as well. That said, I don't think the treasure mouse would give me too much trouble with this setup. Are there specific pages for the codex or different areas to get them all? Or are they all the same? Nothing all that too grand, right? The giveaway, because they're there, they're introduced as part of the giveaway. So, you don't want to dictate where to hunt too much. Because one nice thing about the giveaway is you can participate in it pretty much anywhere. Sometimes you might change up your hunting strategy a little bit to be trying to use an extra powerful trap, but for the most part, you can kind of stick to what you're doing if that's what you want to be doing. So it's a little bit more straightforward than that. You're just going to collect a certain number of pages, and then you can unlock the codex. Lynn, you've been playing since 2009. You caught your first and only leprechaun last giveaway. I think it was a few years ago I caught my first one as well, so it took me over a decade, but you'll get there with patience. If nothing else, it teaches patience and perseverance, which I like to think are pretty admirable traits to have, both in and outside of a game experience. Charizard Jacob was drawing the next refactor base when you guys plan to make the prestige obsolete. That's a very relative term, so I don't think it'll ever be obsolete. It just kind of depends on what your goals are and where you are in the game. But every piece of equipment has its moment where it's very relevant to you in the game. Just like, maybe the mouse death bot was very pertinent when you're leveling up a bit, and then you kind of stop using it and you replace it with something else. If you've played the game for any significant number of time, that's what every single piece of equipment, eventually, that's the cycle of it. You kind of upgrade, you use it, and you use it to earn the next thing, and then you start using the next thing for the most part. Wax, does the Leprechaun still give out a cash prize? There is a chance for that as well. In a little history of the game, 16 years ago, that was kind of a lot more important. Even thinking about it, We didn't really think anybody would play the game. That was kind of the original, or one of the original sort of ideas for the game was that there was this chance to win cash prizes as this kind of simple little mouse trap that was sitting on your Facebook profile from 16 years ago. But it very quickly became evident that the game was a lot more fun than the giveaway part. So that kind of faded into the distance and kind of just leaned more to the gameplay side of things. But we, still pay homage to that, the roots of the game, of what we originally thought the iteration of it would be, or at least one of them, one ideas. So there's still a chance to get a cash prize from the Leprechaun, depending on whether you find the satchel or the pot of gold. Well, that's a little sneak peek at what to expect with the giveaway, and it'll probably be a little bit more fun when you get to sit down and experience it yourself. But I like the spinning open of the vault. I think it just makes it a whole lot more fun. It's just nice to be opening. I even catch myself opening the vault one key at a time now, sometimes just for fun. Depends on how many keys I have. If I'm playing and I have 25, I might open all twice, and then the last five, like, I think I'm just gonna open the last five, kind of halfway open that vault just to see the keys turn. That's pretty fun. I can flip back to here for a minute. So that's what to expect. New animated King's Vault. I think that's one of the more impactful differences between last year and this year, at least something that you notice right away. The Regal Codex, that's going to be in the King's Arms as well. You have to collect some pages. You'll need some King's credits. You'll be able to assemble the Regal Codex. So, if you find yourself using Regal charms a lot, especially the lower tier ones, right? It's a nice way to earn some more higher tier Regal charms, get the ultimate Regals going, which, those are a pretty respectable charm with 18 luck. They're kind of a more powerful version of an ultimate snowball. That's how I always parse them. They're a power-focused ultimate snowball charm. So, I tend to use ultimate snowball charms a lot. So Regals are kind of a step up from that when you need kind of more power than luck. They're a pretty handy charm to have around. The prize key drops from non-prize mice have been moved into the prize mice. And we basically, our goal is to keep the overall chance of finding a prize key the same every time you go on a hunt by just increasing it, but just kind of changing the identity of that, making the prize mice the sole source of prize keys. And like I said earlier, that seems more intuitive. We'd often get a lot of questions, even bug reports from players confused about why, say, a white mouse was dropping a prize key, but it was just a very small chance of that happening. So we just kind of tidied that up, and hopefully that's alleviates any confusion and goes over a little smoother. Emma, it'd be awesome to have animated traps. Alas, I don't think we could pull that off all too well. There's just too many versions of the traps that we would probably need a lot more hands on deck than we'd be able to sustain to animate all the traps. I think, unfortunately, I agree. It would be kind of neat to see a few of them in action at least a little bit, but there's just the complexities of it get a little bit far beyond the reaches of just a small team. So you have a good little stash of Regal charms. That's good. They always come in handy. What's the attraction rate for Dreller in the iceberg? Off the top of my head, I don't know, but there's a bit of a, I don't know how fun of a strategy is of it, to be honest, but you can definitely cycle your generals. But it is one of the more strategic mice to go after, although I don't know if it's a particularly fun experience, the strategy of it. But if you're up for missing a few mice, you can get it to appear. But it requires a little bit of patience and perseverance. Laughing, what is the effect of the Regal Codex? So it has some parallels with the Empyrean Codex and Ancient Charms, in that it gives a chance to find the next tier of Regal Charm while you're using Regal Charm. So very similar to the Empyrean Codex effect for Ancient Charms, but brought that to Regal Charms. So how do we get Regal Charms? So that has stayed The same, you can find quite a few during the giveaway as a good source of them. In the King's Arms or the King's Cart as well, you can pick up Regal Charms, and those should, I think that's already, you could go do that right now in the game if you wanted to. If you have some Regal Charms, you can upgrade them in the King's Arms or the King's Carts into Super, into Extremes, into Ultimate. So the Regal will provide a way to, a chance to do that for free if you want to be using those charms. That kind of saves you some King's credits as well, but it kind of depends on your overall goals, what charms you like to be using at any one given time. The date last Monday. When are we going to update tournaments? It's something we'd like to do, but there are no immediate plans. Just unfortunately, we just don't have quite the resources to build a tournament system. So there's no plans to really do anything with them. How about animated treasure chests complete the map and the chest lid opens up when you click to open flash a light, eh? Yeah, that's a fun idea as well. I don't know if we'd be able to animate the chests themselves, because again, there are quite a few of them. But where we can, we try to add some simple yet fun animations, especially when you're performing an action. But also kind of part of the identity of the games, it kind of chills in the background a little bit. So, the times that you're there and you're clicking something and something fun is happening, it's nice to experience that, kind of like opening up the vault, right? You're there and it's happening, but there's not as many, say, idle animations and things like that going on, because it is just kind of hanging out in the background. It is. There's certainly a lot of players who just keep it open on a screen over in the corner somewhere, so it kind of stays still until you come and interact with it. What's the ultimate best prize in this event? Well, hopefully it varies. It's always nice when the answer to a question like that is depends. Depends on what you're looking to get out of it. So definitely a lot of players like to pick up a few extra ultimate charms. You can get a few before the event ends. It's kind of fun and exciting as well. The Regal Charms, depending on where you're at, they're very useful as well. If you don't have very many of the rainbow maps and you like doing maps with friends, those can be fun. That can be a fun reward to get out of it as well. That's it. If you already have a little stash of the scroll cases, you're probably not going to pick that out of the vault all too often. And King's Credits, outside of maps, the giveaway is probably one of the best times to be earning King's Credits. I think it's pretty second only to doing, say, Relic Hunter maps or Lightning maps, Slayer maps, something like that, where you're getting a lot of King's Credits from the treasure chests. If you don't do a whole lot of maps and there's something with King's Credits you're looking to pick up, then the giveaway is the best time to be earning King's Credits. Quester, the leprechaun is always the goal. That is probably one of the most rare, hardest to get goals as well. I don't even like to think of that as much of a goal as just a very happy surprise when it happens. Like I said, it took me over a decade and over 10 misses before I finally caught one. So it's just part of the journey. It's just a surprise. It's this type of thing that happens when you stop waiting for it to happen. It's one of those. Some of the quests for the M400 sometimes require you to collect a clue with specific traps. You think it'd be fun to have more events that make you use older vintage traps. It was a bit of an experiment with library assignments all those many, many years ago. And I think it's had mixed feedback, so there's some positive feedback there as well, but I think sometimes there's also a little bit of frustration from that as well. And I think it's natural because you could be doing better, and the game tells you, I want you to sort of, limit how successful you're allowed to be right now. And I think it got exasperated a bit as you get very, traps that are just way more powerful than what you have to be using. So I don't know. I think if I can capture the essence of the idea is it's fun to use things you haven't used in a long time, or see a trap that you haven't looked at in years. It kind of puts a smile on your face. I think that's kind of the essence. I can capture the sort of what makes that appealing. What's the root of the positive feedback that blossoms a positive feedback plant. How far can I make horrible metaphors? I'm good at it. So when I think about that, it's fun to be able to see and use things that you haven't used in a long time. I think kind of on the back burner, in the back of our minds, is re-exploring how trap skins work, and kind of if you could use an old item as a cosmetic so you can still get to enjoy it while using the stats of a better trap. Kind of in somewhere in the back of our minds is that's kind of where we want to explore to fulfill that, that desire to be able to, have that fun experience with old equipment, but in a way that you're not kind of trading off. You're like, oh, I'll miss a bunch of mice just to look at something kind of thing. But anyway, that's kind of been a conversation kicking around for a while, but it's one of the many hundreds of things in the idea bank. But there's only so many hours in the day to focus on them. YX, there's no immediate plans to add any sort of kicking from treasure maps or anything like that. There's a few ideas percolating around in different iterations there, but nothing concrete. So it's probably nothing happening in the immediate future. Do regular mice only drop from Super Breed? Jason, does the regular mice only drop from Super Breed? I don't know if I quite understand what you're asking. Or could we get a non-LE Thief and Queso Cannon Storm base, especially the latter with the new Draconic area coming? An additional way to get calorie as rib would be nice. It's definitely something we keep in mind. We draw a lot, some inspiration from previous limited edition items to potentially add them, give them permanent homes in the game somewhere. So no immediate plans for that specifically, but it's something that kind of we keep in mind. It's part of the regular cycle of ideation. Yeah, Swift, that's a good point. Using some old traps during events when your catch rate doesn't matter quite as much, or maybe you're using a charm that can compensate for it a little bit. That's a good time to enjoy some of those older traps as well. But we've always just been trying to find just the right idea to have a new fun way to have that sensation and have that experience in more ways as well. But at the same time, we don't like to force an idea. We like to kind of let it stew, let the flavors come out until it's just right. Just keep seasoning it a little bit. Because sometimes once you serve up the meal, you can't take it back and reinvent it. There you go. I'm up to at least 3 horrible metaphors. Any stuff to cater to newer players? Well, the giveaway is definitely something that you can participate in at any level, as well as King's credits, I'd say, are quite useful kind of to newer players. You can get some resources to help you out with a few areas. You could stock up on some powerful charms to help you in areas where you feel like your trap maybe isn't quite strong enough. There's kind of quite a few advantages depending on where you are in the game, but I think there's something for everybody in the giveaway for sure. Any plan for the Minotaur base? Maybe adding a special effect from the Thief base so it's worth it again to be using. Again, it's all relative on where you are in the game, but if it's a little bit of a slippery slope, right? By that logic, shouldn't the explosive base have some sort of special effect, right? And it's an impossible ask to make 200 bases all have a use. I think the end result would be very confusing and hard to remember what does what. So that's okay. Everything has its time to shine, everything has its moment in the sun, and everything has its place for different players. And sometimes if you want everything to be important, then nothing's important. So I think that's okay. Kenneth, no plans to put Bottled Winged in the King's Cart. That said, should a certain traveling merchant arrive, I think she might sell Bottled Wind. I might be mistaken. I'm doing that from memory. But I thought I recall her shop kept Bottled Wind stocked. When will the new season of the Relic Hunter start? So tentatively anyway, we are planning on having, this is the 10th season, and we're kind of planning on that being the final season. So there most likely won't be an 11th unless we have some sort of creative inspiration around that. That said, we just kind of want to sunset the seasons in some sort of a way, give a little bit of a closure, and then we have a few things in the idea bank that we think we'd like to replace the Relic Hunter seasonal change with something that's kind of just a little bit more creative, a little bit more sustainable. So what about adding a teammate to a map? We have one on our team who's often late to the party. You should just be able to invite them just like anybody else. Will the king show his face during the giveaway? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the king's face. Vapor, the couple people who got into the game left because we could not play together for a year pretty much. That is tricky. And I think it's something that a lot of kind of incremental progression, RPG, that sort of genre of game, it is often a challenge because what makes often the gameplay special and fun is the idea of getting better over time. As you put time into it, you get stronger, and then you can take on harder challenges, and your reward is something that makes you stronger. It's very cyclical, or it feeds into itself. It's like a reinforcing gameplay loop. But that sort of stands in opposition to, well, if I've been playing for 10 years and somebody's been playing for 10 minutes, it's very difficult to have something that meaningful that you can do together because you're just at such different phases. The events are often a great time for that as well. You can have a shared goal and everyone's kind of, reset a little bit, all working on a similar goal. And that said, even things like looking at the giveaway, King's credits can be a good way to just get a little bit of a speed boost going. You visit the King's cart, you stock up on a few supplies that you otherwise wouldn't have access to, and it kind of helps you find a way to catch up to a friend. That said, we always aim to have a few above and beyond achievements here and there, whether it's a little bit of a side quest or an above and beyond trap that'll kind of be, it's a little more powerful than it even needs to be. So kind of, you don't have to get it per se. And that kind of helps have a bit of a quicker path to be able to play with friends without completely sort of skipping or removing, all the fun adventures down below that. But it's always a balancing act. Well, the giveaway only happened once a year. I don't know. We haven't thought any hard and fast rule there, but that definitely seems to be the pattern that has emerged. And we're pretty busy. We don't sit idle for too long, so I think it would be hard to organize more than one a year. But it's nice. Some of the different events have different places as well, so it just kind of. We keep a little bit of flexibility in our scheduling, and it's nice when we're working on something that's maybe a little bit more grand or requires a larger number of people to be working on it. So let's say there's a draconic area coming a little later in the year, and that requires a lot more art assets, right? There's a lot of new mice. You got to find a spot for all the mice. There's more items. There's gameplay mechanics. There's more complicated interfaces. Sometimes that's how we approach things a little bit, is while we're working on something that is a little bit more high scope, or it takes a lot more time, effort, and people to put it together, it's nice to have some slightly smaller scope events that we can be working on as well. And that kind of, distributes things nicely, where there can be something new coming out every now and then, without kind of having all hands on deck, if you will. So in that regard, the King's giveaway maybe isn't a good event to kind of say, okay, this is when it happens and it always happens there, because it is one of those events that's nice for us to be able to, fit it into the schedule between bigger things. And it just kind of works out well. It's very kind of a practical but fun approach. Hopefully, that's the goal. I think any Rift expansion, nothing concrete. I think there's a little bit of a Rift storyline to wrap up, some ideas here and there, but we're kind of focused on the Folklore Forest for a little bit. We have a Draconic area in the works, and then the release that would come, at least the Folklore Forest release that would come after that. We're kind of planning for that to be the finale. And then we've got a few ideas of where to go from there, but then it'll be, in some ways it'll be a nice creative kind of change of pace to break out from the Folklore Forest after that. But we're kind of excited to bring things to a little bit of closure as well. It's fun when you're building up a story to then come up with the ending as well. Well, where are we at? It is 11:40. I should probably get going in a little bit. We should gotta do the trivia as well. I think Norm came up with the trivia today. Ryan, can you let us clearly see the 4 trap skins? Ryan, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. On June 18th, you will be able to see them. There you go. No. Well, here, we'll do the trivia, and then I should probably hit the road. What do we think? Today's trivia is, when was the first giveaway? Actually, come to think of it, this is probably a trivia question we've used in the past. And we'll do a little walk down memory lane here. I'd be interested to see if anybody in the chat participated in this giveaway. Swift, I think you have the year right. I believe it was in 2008. I believe it was in 2008, which was the year the game was released. Norm, it was not in the year 42. That's way too early. Game wasn't out yet. Yeah. We're still working on like inventing electricity as well. That was a little bit of a prerequisite. August 2008 says Clip It. You're getting close. Warm. A Hunter's Reward Weekend was held in August 2008. Uh-oh, I may have the wrong answer to the trivia question because that kind of sounds right. That kind of sounds right. Shell the iTunes mouse, eh? Yeah, that was the Rockstar mouse original. Didn't even have an illustration. Again, it's interesting to think back, all those years ago. Really, like the original kind of iteration or vision. Vision might be stretched. It's almost too grand of a word for it. It was just a little mousetrap on your Facebook profile, right? It was a Facebook, little simple Facebook game. And every once in a while, you just come check your profile and see, oh, did I catch any mice today? And every once in a while, you win a prize, right? So there wasn't even artwork for that. It was just just a musical note, and you won a gift card to buy for iTunes. So that was quite popular at the time. But then there's some logistical challenges to shipping gift cards throughout the world that maybe we didn't think through too closely. And as I said earlier, then kind of just the fun of the game, I think, took precedent over winning prizes, and that sort of shifted the focus. But Hunter's Reward Weekend, that sounds awfully familiar. I think that might be the correct answer. Hank says October 2008, the Haunted Giveaway. See, that was the answer I had. Was October 2008, there was a Haunted Giveaway. Maybe the Hunter's Reward Weekend, though. That sounds familiar. That's like just unlocked a core memory deep somewhere. Deep in the memory banks here. I didn't make a reward link. That's important, isn't it? Or actually, we'll blame Larry. Larry didn't make a reward link. I'm going to have to ask Larry nicely. Larry, may I please have a reward link? I think he says certainly. I'll put this in the chat for your clicking convenience. And we'll see, can I get this on the screen as well? Just in case you like to type this out. There we go. But I had the Haunted Giveaway. And did anybody participate in that giveaway? And does anyone also recall, we took a look this morning, we couldn't find it. The closest we got was what I got behind the mouse here, the hollow head. Let me just hide the hollow head for a second. But you can remember, back in that era, there were a lot of posters like this. There's a lot of things. This is promoting the Halloween event, not the giveaway. But I was trying to find, somewhere in my memory bank is this sort of burgundy rust orange promotional poster, and it had the hollow head mouse on it promoting the Haunted Giveaway, but we couldn't find it. Imagine that. I mean, hard to find a 16-year-old piece of art, but we couldn't find it anywhere. You think the reward weekend, though, for the correct answer? Yeah, this might be tricky to track down the correct answer. What do we think that was branded as a giveaway? Michelle, the $2,500 Tuesday giveaway as well, eh? Yeah, August Hunter's Reward Weekend. Yeah, see, it wasn't branded a King's Giveaway. So this might have been an early iteration of this. But it's kind of interesting history of the game. Nonetheless, just kind of seeing where it started, where it ended up. Edison in 2008, you didn't know the word internet yet. Uh-oh. But definitely the giveaways evolved and changed over the years. Like I said, it became clear that catching mice was, kind of the exciting part people talked about a lot more than even winning prizes. So it kind of shifted that way. I like to keep the prizes there as kind of homage to the history of the game. And ultimately, that was very fun and exciting to see that people cared about the mice and the game more than the giveaway and the prizes. And the game was larger than just being kind of like a lottery or something of that nature. So it's kind of fun to see. Jonathan, you started September 2008, so you may have played during the Haunted giveaway. So in April 2010, I missed some of the early events. Yeah, I remember the Trick or Treat event. That always has a special place in the memory as well. It's always a nostalgic thing about Gorgonzola and the candy corn cheese. You played MouseHunt in 2008 because it was one of the only games small enough to play on a dial-up connection. Yeah, even mobile phones. I can remember that was a little bit precarious to have a mobile internet connection. That was a pretty cutting-edge idea at the time. YX asking, what's the next event after the King's giveaway, eh? I don't know. Probably something exciting. The Hunter's Reward weekend was held on the 16th to the 18th. Commemoration of reaching 50,000 daily players and successful server upgrades. Game tracked it down. Yeah, I guess that evolved into what we would refer to as a King's giveaway, and the rest is history. It's one thing through. There's a few iterations, some more popular than others, as we explore different ideas throughout the years. There's definitely some that were a little less fun than others. Overall, I think there's been positive reception to the King's Vault as well. I think found a pretty fun format for it as well. Nice blend. The prize mice kind of still have a place and a purpose in the overall kind of scheme of events. Yet there's still enough to do without it being too big of a distraction either. So it's kind of nice when all the events have their own unique identity to make them all feel a little bit different like that. Wasn't the Trick or Treat event the longest running single event version? That would be an excellent trivia question as well. That would be, yeah. It was quite a few years. And it did kind of iterate and change a little bit as the years went on. I do kind of miss the ringing your friend's doorbell aspect of it. That just fits so well with the Trick or Treat event. So you saw mention of Draconic Cavern along with Draconic Depths. Are they different names? So I'm pretty sure Draconic Depths will be what ends up going with. That's the working title, but it seems like that's going to stick. So if there's, if you see some different terms floating around, maybe, Jacob's illustrating something and one of those file names is named something precarious there. That's probably why. There's always a little bit of back and forth. And as an area takes shape, sometimes, the naming doesn't quite feel right or we have a better idea. It often helps seeing the artwork come together. Edison, will LED traps come back? No, I don't think so. I mean, never say never, but that would be a big decision. There's no plans to do that, but, can't be completely opposed to changing your mind on something, but we need kind of a good reason to do it. No, how's the weather in Nadia? I think the answer would be it varies dramatically, right? Whether you're in the iceberg or whether you're in the Sandtail Desert, there's a wide range of weather. Hey, Karen, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. How did the name Hickrab come about? That might be a question for Brian and Joel to really dial in. But my understanding, right, because we started as a web design company, building websites for clients. And, it's not really a term used too much today in 2024, but getting hits for your website, especially doing search engine optimization, kind of when somebody would search a term, trying to get your website at the top of Google, and that would count as a hit. That's how you kind of measure your success. Would be how many hits can you get for a search term. So you're grabbing those, you're getting those hits, you're grabbing those website hits. I think that's the origin of it, but again, probably that's just my understanding from, stories from Brian and Joel. They could probably tell a more entertaining version of it. YX, are we allowed to visit HitGrab's office? We do not have an office. We're working remotely. Can you buy the print? We had it made several years ago. And speaking of an office, it was going to be some wall art for the office. And then while we ordered it, COVID came about. And then it never made it up onto the wall of that office. And it had been in a storage locker for 4 years. So I was hoping I could put it, at least get a little bit of use out of it. I still need to get it up on the wall. I think I need to get something to go below it. I think that's what's holding me back. I think I got to find something to put under it, and then I'll put it up on the wall so I don't end up moving it. I don't know how to hang it without knowing how big the table's going to be. Soul, could you bring back some old events to fit them? A lot of fun from old events. That would be a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, it is much easier said than done. It would be borderline impossible to get those back up and running. We'd have to recreate them from scratch. There'd be no way to go find the old events and get them working. It would be weeks and weeks of effort, I think, for each one. We'd have to rebuild it from the ground up. So, I'm with you. It would be nice if we could at least just even a little test environment, take them for a spin again. But it just isn't technically feasible. That said, we always try to draw inspiration from some of those old events as well. Look for an opportunity to have a little nostalgia if we can. Well, we're approaching the hour mark. I should probably wrap things up and get back to work. Maybe a quick lunch break and get back to work here. Hunters, thank you for joining me today. Again, we went over the King's giveaway. What to expect here. If you use Regal charms regularly, then there will be a new Regal codex. Give a chance for your charms to upgrade. Brand new interface for the King's Vault. That is a whole lot of fun to open up the vault and watch it spin. A good little thing to note here as well, the prize mice, they're going to drop multiple prize keys now, all except the treasure at least. And we've taken away the prize key drops from non-prize mice. Hopefully that kind of removes any confusion around that same overall number of keys, but hopefully it's easier to understand. Prize keys come from prize mice. Hindsight, that probably makes a lot more intuitive sense. And 4 new trap skins, which I hopefully have no errors in any of the names of the traps anymore. All right, I'll endeavor to finish my cup of coffee before I start typing this. If I'm not going to copy and paste, that'll teach me. Michelle, don't bother putting it at the wall. It'll be yours at some point. That would be tricky to get all the way across the ocean. It was hard enough just to get down the street here. It just barely fit in Brian's car. He had to angle it. He's like, I got it in here. It's yours. I don't know how you're going to move it around now. It was a bit of a challenge. Scary Busey, with so much fantastic artwork, can you please put up more merch in the game in general? It's something we've tried many times over the course of 16 years and never had a whole lot of success being able to do it well. It's often the type of thing we'll give it a try, and a few people are interested for a few days, and then it's less interested, and it's just been a challenge to find a good way to do it that is also a quality product. So it's a logistical challenge for us, and it's not being a merchandising company, it can be hard to get that right now. So have the resources to keep it up and running and relevant as it goes on. So we've given it numerous tries over the years, with each time with a smile on our face saying this time it'll be a little bit different, but maybe we're just a little bit shy because that hasn't really worked out after giving it a try 8 to 10 times over the course of many years. So we'll see though. It's something we have a desire to do. It's hard to find a way to make it a reality as well. So just haven't found a way to make it work. Karen, happy hunting to you as well. Murphy, have yourself a great weekend. Dude says, get something delicious for lunch. Yeah, we'll see. There's probably some leftovers kicking around as the plan. Well, everybody, happy hunting. Matt's popping in late. What did you miss? 25 sandblasted medals. Now, 10 King's credits from Larry's today, if you can find that link. But Matt, nice to see you. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Likewise, everybody in the chat. Happy hunting. It'll most likely be Jacob joining you next time. And then let me see a calendar. Hold on. When does the giveaway start? I'm just going to ramble for a bit here. If the giveaway starts on the 18th, today's the 7th, then if Jacob was on the 14th, I would go on the 21st and then the 28th. Yes, so the giveaway will have started. Look at this. I'm looking at a calendar and I'm trying to figure out dates on the spot. That's never going to go well. So maybe we could get some feedback on the giveaway. Maybe even look ahead a little bit on the roadmap, that one as well. We'll see. We'll see what the plans ends up being. Well, have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Happy hunting. I'll see you next time.
1, 2.
You're a trap. Don't seem to mind it. You attract me. I'm a mouse, you're a cat. I don't seem to mind it. Soft and furry. Oh, and just when I think I'm safe, snap. Turns out I'm never safe, snap. Just when you think you're safe, snap. I come back. You don't seem to mind it, but I'm a fool. Broke my back. You don't seem to mind it, 'cause you're so cool. And just when I think I'm safe, snap. Turns out I'm never safe, snap. Ooh. And just when you think you're safe, snap. Turns out